Southern Illinois and Indiana ready to get back into action. The crowd in Bloomington ready as well. Welcome everyone to Sunday Showdown presented by Alltel Wireless. The Salukis off to their best start in 3 years, take on 5-3 Indiana, part of Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers. Good evening everybody and welcome. Sean McDonough along with Jay Billis and Bill Raftery. Delighted to have you with us for this early holiday treat for Hoops fans. We might see smash mouth basketball tonight. That's the way Chris Lowry, the Salukis coach, describes the style of both of these teams.
Well, and I'll tell you, Southern Illinois is a terrific basketball team. They're a veteran team. They know how to get out and guard people. A lot of double teams. They're athletic drivers. You're going to have to really play if you want to stay in the game with Southern Illinois.
And Bill, in year one under Kelvin Sampson, Indiana becoming a typical Coach Sampson team. They rebound and they defend.
A rough and tumble game, much like our relationship, I might add. You've got to match the intensity of the Southern Illinois. I think that's what they stress. They also have to shoot well and rebound, Jake.
Let's take a look at Star Watch, and we feature the player who is both the leading scorer and rebounder for his team to this point in the year.
Well, not only leads in scoring and rebounding, but three-point field goal percentage as well. Matt Shaw, a four-man that can step away, and he is tough as nails, Bill Raftery.
And Jay and Sean, DJ White's got to stay on the floor. He's got to score, be impressive on the glass. He needs a big game this evening.
Kelvin Sampson still tinkering with lineups. The group of Callaway, Shaw, Wilmot, Stemler, and DJ White is 8th different starting lineup in 9 games this year. And you saw the starting lineup for the Salukis giving up only 51 points per game and change. Steve Wellmer will throw the ball in the air, working with Ted Hillary, Eugene Crawford. Indiana in the home white, and the tip controlled by Southern Illinois' Randall Falker.
Sean McDonough and Jay Billis. The Hoosiers go. Minute.
And Falker double teamed in the post, kicked it out for a three from Shaw, well short, and the Karen back out to Brian Mullins. And now Jamal Tatum, a senior from Jefferson City, Missouri, averaging 13 points per game. He was their leading scorer last year, 15 per game. Shaw, a nice move to the bucket.
He can do a lot of things, can he?
Boy, when that is an interior player that can take the ball out on the perimeter, cross you over, and get all the way to the rim, Kelvin Sampson has to be disappointed. Nobody stepped in to take a charge.
Callaway defended tightly by Mullins, one of the best players in the country in getting steals is Brian Mullins. Led the Missouri Valley in that department last year. Joey Shaw started a drive and a foul called against the Salukis' Matt Shaw. Kelvin Sampson in his first year here, 5-3 after 12 years as head coach at Oklahoma, where he made it to 11 NCAA tournaments in 12 seasons. 5-3 the record, with those 3 losses by a combined 13 points to good teams, Butler, Duke, and Kentucky. After they lost last weekend at Kentucky, he wrote on the blackboard 13 points from 8-0. There's a 3 in the air and good from Joey Shaw, the redshirt freshman from Glendale, Arizona.
And that should really help the inside game, should open up some passing lanes.
And Indiana trying to be aggressive driving the ball. They don't want to settle for jump shots. Open jump shots are fine, but they want to put the ball on the floor and drive it.
Matt Shaw miss, and the rebound down to Roderick Wilmot, their second leading rebounder, nearly 6 per game, despite the fact he's just 6'4". And when you play for Coach Sampson, it is a team rebounding effort.
Oh, they stress rebounding, and especially the guards have to rebound. It's got to be a 5-man exercise every defensive possession. Nice pass.
He can really dump it down there in their high-low set.
Chris Lowry, one of the youngest coaches in the country, just 34 years old. He could certainly pass for younger than that. And enormously successful already. First coach in Southern Illinois history to win 20 games in each of his first 2 seasons. Trouble getting the ball in, and a timeout call by the Hoosiers. They lead 3-2 early on.
Welcome. Welcome to a brand new day. Welcome to a place where books rewrite themselves, where you can drag and drop people wherever they want to go, where maps are rewritten, and anyone can be famous, where we're more powerful together than we ever could be apart. Welcome to the Human Network.
Indiana leads 3-2. Fifth meeting all time between these two schools. About a 4-hour drive apart. Southern Illinois from Carbondale, about 2 hours southeast of St. Louis. They made the 4-hour bus ride up here yesterday.
And this little flex screen and a pin down, and he can make the open jumper. Look at the quick closeouts, though.
Earl Calloway with the shot clock at 6, and the rebound down to Randall Falker, Jr. from St. Louis at 6'7". He's their tallest starter, and Jamal Tatum, the 3 in transition.
Oh, he's so capable of freezing you. Now, Sean, watch him later blow by. He's got great speed going to the 10.
He's not shot it particularly well this year, but he's the type of player that can go off on you because he can get his own shot. Jamal Tatum had 37 in a game last year.
Coming off an 0-for-5 performance from 3 in their last game. That was 8 days ago at Western Kentucky. Both teams haven't played since last Saturday. Tatum with some contact. Callaway went down, no whistle, and Tatum scored.
Well, he's got great confidence. That little kiss delivery at the end, but good non-call as well.
Boy, this Southern Illinois team really guards you. They are there in the catch. Look how they pressure the ball. It is so difficult to be able to see. Right now, Joey Shaw had to turn his back right away.
They get you facing out. You really have to rely on individual ability against this. They take you out of your set.
DJ White faced up and missed. And the rebound by Tony Young, the fifth-year senior from Schaumburg, Illinois.
This team is all juniors and seniors, a veteran basketball team that has played together.
All 5 starters back for Southern Illinois off their 22-11 team last year that won the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. Lost to West Virginia in the first round of the NCAA tournament. They have their top 8 players back from a year ago. Shaw off a nice pass.
Boy, they really separate beautifully, too. They have the corners covered for a skip pass for a 3, and then the high-low. Great delivery.
Well, that's a little bit of a mismatch, too. Lance Stemler, the junior college transfer, an outstanding shooter, but I'm not sure he's strong enough to handle Shaw inside.
Look at this recovery, too, by Shaw. They close out expecting to get help from a partner.
And the defense a bit too frisky that time. Tony Young called for the foul.
You can see Shaw just gets right into him and moves Stemler up the lane and then holds him off as that nice pass from Randall Falker goes right over the top. That is just outstanding positioning and understanding angles by Matt Shaw, a guy who just knows how to play.
Did you ever look like that, by the way?
The heck
Shaw?
no. Heck no.
Boy, they are cut.
These guys look like a bunch of middleweight boxers.
Shaw got into that shape in part by swearing off soft drinks. He said he heard B.J. Armstrong, the outstanding former Chicago Bull, gave up soda, so he decided to do it as well. Falker the rejection, and we get a timeout. 4 minutes in, the Salukis up by 5.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship coming in March.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and Mom didn't know, but Dad's right behind her, with a box and a bow.
This Christmas, tell her she's the greatest chapter in your life story with diamond earrings from Kay Jewelers, where you can be assured of 2 things. Every diamond is hand-selected to match beautifully, and she'll absolutely love them.
But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight,
I'll always remember how I feel tonight.
Every kiss begins with K.
Man, how are we going to compete with that?
Hey guys, for the holidays we've got this buy one, get one free razor deal. So I got you gifts.
Wow, thanks a lot, Chad.
Look, Chad, we don't want your stupid phones.
I kind of do.
Yeah, I finally have a razor.
Man, you guys have no shame. That's mine!
Right now at Altel Wireless, buy one razor and get a second one free. It's the deal of the holidays, so go to shopaltel.com today.
Oh, yeah! The Pizza Hut kid made a mistake again! I got 3 medium Pizza Hut pizzas for the same price as those other guys!
It's no mistake. Pay just $5 each for 3 medium one-topping hand-tossed Pizza Hut pizzas. Go for the good stuff.
American Pie presents the Naked Mile.
Welcome to the Naked Mile.
Have you been naughty? Whoa, what's that? Or naked?
What are you guys doing still dressed?
American Pie presents the Naked Mile, unrated, on DVD Tuesday.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Kay Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And in part by Altel. Come and get your love. Altel. Want to choose who you can call for free? Get My Circle.
4 minutes in, only 3 points on the board for Indiana. Not a surprise as they battle one of the best defensive teams in the country in Southern Illinois.
Well, it's all about trust, and I trust you too and enjoy being in your company. But if you gamble defensively, they've got some coverage, Jay. Look at the big fella. Presentation.
They not only contest every drive, they double team quite a bit, they communicate on defense, but when you've got someone like Randall Falker who's athletic enough to come over and erase a shot, that gives you even more confidence as a perimeter defender to get out and pressure without fear of getting beat.
Yeah, not bad for a bicycle rider, huh?
Yeah, Randall Falker, competitive mountain bike rider, enjoys riding with the club in Carbondale. He does tricks on the bike, and Coach Lowry has begged him to get rid of the bikes for the basketball season. Stemler a miss, and then a foul against Indiana on the rebounding action.
But Earl Calloway going over the top.
Did you see how quickly the release was on the jump shot? You're not comfortable because they close beautifully under control.
Well, you can't just settle for the first shot that you get. I think you're going to have to put the ball on the floor and really attack this team off the dribble.
I think you've got to make them work. I mean, continually. Just, as you said, don't jack it up.
Wesley Clemens has come in off the Salugis bench, number 24. Falker one-on-one with White, and now Stemler comes to double. Young missed a three, and Stemler the rebound in traffic.
Yeah, he's a pretty good rebounder.
Averages 4.5 per game, good for third on the Indiana team. Indiana has out-rebounded its opponent in every game this year.
Look how hard Southern Illinois guards.
And they're opening so that they do not get back cut as well. Look at the help, and there's the high-low setup. Great duck in by White.
And the shot a bit too strong. Stemler crashed the boards to keep it alive. Out of bounds last touched by Lance Stemler.
Well, they can't get a better look than they got it inside to DJ White. That was a good pass, good catch. He went up strong, just didn't finish the play.
You know, when you're not used to getting it with all that attention, you rush it. Terrific duck in. Look at the strength. A little harsh on the delivery.
Indiana now just 1 out of 7 from the floor.
Nice post up.
Falker kicked it out. Here's Clemens, the sophomore from Indianapolis, traveled.
Yeah, you think Falker should have gone up somehow? He was really in perfect shape.
Yeah, he should have shot that. When you get it that in deep, you go up and score or get fouled or both.
We're talking about Indiana on offense. Do you think when you practice for a week and the coach is stressed with a good defensive team you're playing against, that sometimes mentally you have to realize, as White had a shot that he had a moment ago, wait a minute, this is a good shot. I don't have to rush. This is the kind of shot we're working to get.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's as much of a problem as it is. You've got to be so aware that when you're getting open, you just can't take a break mentally in this type of game.
I'm going to agree with you, Sean. I think it gets in your head a little bit. This is a first, by the way.
Wait a minute.
No offense, Jay.
We've had 2 already. You said how much you enjoy being with us. It must be the holiday spirit or the eggnog you had before the game.
Well, the first one was a lie. The second one you may agree with.
Who gave up soft drinks?
DJ White got called for a travel by Steve Wellmer. College basketball continues over on ESPN2 tonight. 17th ranked Oklahoma State taking on the Tennessee Volunteers. That game in Nashville. Holiday Hoops presented by K Jewelers on ESPN2. That's tomorrow.
They
7 Eastern.
They found an answer to get it inside the White. He's just not able to finish it.
He was really expecting that contact. I think that led to the travel. How nice is that?
The flare. They used the post bump. This is a tough
Tatum. Not only a team leader, but an outstanding student. 3.64 grade point average in speech communication. Foul at the other end as Callaway went strong to the bucket. He'll go to the line trying to end a 9-0 run. Tatum also very active on campus. They have an SIU Symphony Orchestra. A recent performance, he was a narrator performing along with the symphony.
Jay and I had a chance to speak to him earlier today. Very capable youngster. Communications is an interest,
yes,
amongst other things. But he plays with that football mentality. He plays as a sophomore, a very aggressive-minded performer.
And a very engaging young man.
He sure is. An academic background. His dad is a professor at Lincoln College, James Tatum. His mom is the supervisor of public schools in Jefferson City, Missouri. Tatum will go to the bench now. Callaway's free throws make it 11-5. Another problem Indiana has had, they don't get to the line very often. Their leading player for getting to the line is DJ White, and he averages fewer than 4 free throw attempts per game.
And that's why they want to dribble drive, and they're going to have to do it, as Jay mentioned earlier, to get to that line.
Brian Mullins called for a palm. And the free throws have been important. We mentioned the 3 losses by a total of 13 points. And they've been badly beaten at the free throw line in those games.
And easy baskets become very important. Callaway beat him earlier, got to the free throw line. Half-court set, you got to be patient, use some power, and dribble.
They got the ball on one side of the floor, and Southern Illinois is keeping them there. They need to get it to the other side.
Look how they just force you to face opposite the rim. You got to catch and be a threat. Look to break your guy down. There's the double, and they do this on their own, Jay, and players decide.
Well, they'll double off every ball screen. They like to double off of handoffs. And there's the double off the ball screen.
Ooh, a little late.
5 to shoot for Stemler. Those woes continue. He's coming off an 0 for 7 performance from the floor last Saturday at Rupp Arena, including 0 for 6 from 3. Matt Shaw almost traveled.
Now you can see the scouting, though. They hit him as the trailer in the early offense.
Boy, this Southern Illinois team, not very big, but I'll tell you what, they do not give up many offensive rebounds. Indiana has not gotten a second shot.
They stick you.
There's Tony Boyle off the bench, a sophomore. Good defense by Stemler, and then Boyle called for the foul. Who hails from DeSoto, Missouri. Usually their first big man off the bench. First foul in the team's 5th, with 12.5 to go in the first half.
Well, with the foul situation, that's where Indiana has to take advantage of that foul situation and play to it by continuing to be strong with the ball and driving it.
Are they going to say swimming?
Well, DJ White, you mentioned Boyle, a physical defender off the bench. Kelvin Sampson was hoping that whistle was going against Boyle. It went against DJ White, his first.
Well, that may be an area or a time where it's probably not good to fight because you're probably not going to get the ball there. I mean, that was just a blatant swing. Whew.
Mullins, who was the freshman of the year in the Missouri Valley last season. Sophomore from Downers Grove, Illinois, the son of the coach, Clemens. Guarded by A.J. Ratliff, who's been off the Indiana bench.
Yeah, that last foul by White, that's how frustrated you become.
8 to shoot for the Salukis. Mullins. Now Clemens had his shot blocked by Ratliff. Stemler controlled. They had a couple of Hoosiers ahead of the field, but Stemler was well guarded in the backcourt, couldn't kick it ahead.
Always ahead on the ball. Don't let you turn the corner. I got the hands in there.
A bit too physical behind the defense. When we come back, just one example of how much these Indiana folks love their Hoosiers.
Jared here. Michael Strahan here.
And a delicious footlong Subway club. Less than half the fat of a McDonald's Big Mac.
But twice the meat, so it fills me up without slowing me down.
Less fat.
More meat.
Less fat.
More meat.
Less fat.
More meat.
Less fat.
More meat!
Where do you go for tools? How about under the tree? Check out the Craftsman Locking Flex Ratcheting Wrench Set. Yep, it's a mouthful. But for fast work and tight spots, nothing's better. If you want it, ask for it. Craftsman at Sears.
But I can tell you it'll happen for sure. It's as crazy. ESP and Memory Stick Duo. Show yourself.
ESP.
This telecast is available on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. Southern Illinois leads 11-5. 11 and a half minutes to go in the first half here in Bloomington. Typically, his teams reflect the values he espouses: hard work, selflessness, discipline. But a few of them turned his vision into a living, breathing, winning work of art. A confluence of talent and fine-tuning, of sweat-drenched effort and intangible chemistry. They landed him on the top of the basketball world, the championship teams of Coach Bob Knight. There's the most recent in 1987, so we're coming up on 20 years between NCAA championships and counting. I showed you that 81 banner, and we'll share a little nugget from that season in a moment. So much attention this college basketball season on Coach Bob Knight and his accomplishments. Well, based on what he said after the win yesterday against Arkansas, apparently he would appreciate there was less attention. He says the pursuit of the all-time coaching wins record doesn't mean anything to him. A turnover on a carry by Roderick Wilmot. This is the paper here in Bloomington from 1981 after Bob Knight's Hoosiers beat North Carolina to win the NCAA championship. The championship on the front page of the paper over the story of the president being shot.
Priority, Sean. Unfortunately, the president was fine, and
thankfully there was some question the game would be played that night until it was learned that the president was out of danger. President Reagan. 879 wins for Dean Smith, and Bob Knight now on the brink of history, one behind. For the game against Bucknell next.
Pretty thrilling time for him. I know he's low-balling it, low-keying it. Don't you think, Jay?
There's no question that it's going to be a very emotional time when that record is broken, not just for Bob Knight, but for his players as well.
Good catch on the pass.
And a foul. Xavier Keeling, a freshman just off the bench, will go to the free throw line. He's out of Huntsville, Alabama. He was recruited by Mike Davis. That Bucknell game, 4:30 Eastern Time, ESPN 2 on December 23rd. Chance to tie Dean Smith on that night and perhaps set the record all by himself against UNLV on December 28th. Keeling missed the first free throw, just his second of his collegiate career. He's now 0 for 2. Jamal Tatum back into the ball game for Southern Illinois.
You know, Sean, in the early 70s, I took a seat in the whole team in here to play in the Hoosier Classic. And Bob Knight was such a nice man, he didn't play us. He played Xavier, but I had him coach our team when the weekend was over. And in about a half hour, he got some of our mistakes or coaching shortcomings straightened out. So he's had an influence on a lot of people, not only his own players.
Can you go to him for some broadcasting tips?
Well, you know, I get that little memorandum from you the morning after. I don't think we have to go there.
Nearly midway through the half, and as we expected, a very low-scoring game. Southern Illinois giving up under 52 points per game. They were second in the nation until a couple of days ago when, without playing, a couple of teams surpassed them. A.J. Ratliff called for his first foul. And Indiana's giving up just under 59 points per game.
What Chris Lowry does, they go side to side on offense. They go side to side on defense. They really jam on the defensive end. They get touches on both sides. Good open corner jumper.
Wouldn't drop for Tony Young. Ratliff, a former Mr. Basketball in Indiana, dumped it off for Keeling. Where Keeling has played in only 3 games so far this year, was a do not play in 3 of the last 4 games, but he's given them a nice spark off the bench.
What an entry pass here.
And Faulkner was fouled inside, but there was a foul away from the ball before that on Tony Young. Called for an illegal screen.
Well, you can see the speed of the game now. Jay, Kelvin Sampson pushing the ball. It's essential against a great half-court defensive team. You get some easy baskets.
Well, if you can beat it up the court, whether after a rebound, a steal, or even a made field goal, to get it in quickly where you don't have to go against this set defense, you're going to be in a lot better shape because this Southern Illinois team has really taken Indiana out of everything it's trying to do in the half court.
Healing.
There's the dribble drive.
Joey Shaw called for travel.
And even when you move it from side to side and attack a closeout, Southern Illinois does such a good job of recovering. They still make it hard for you to drive.
You know, and asking Chris Lowry, how do they guard so well? He said, well, maybe some of it's fear, but some of it's experience as well.
Matt Shaw started to drive. Beautiful pass. Boy, they've done that nicely a couple of times. And Randall Falker the finish.
That's just knowing how to play. That was beautiful.
They play great together, too, the two big guys. High-low.
Indiana's putting an awful lot of pressure on its defense to get stops.
Galloway, a tough runner that wouldn't go. Run down by Joey Shaw. DJ White going on the score sheet. The crowd trying to get engaged. It's a less than capacity crowd. The students are gone after their final exams. They're home for Christmas. So there are a number of empty seats here tonight. Falker called for travel.
He has great footwork and a wonderful left hand, but the pressure on the pass has got to be there, and thus far Indiana's done a pretty decent job on it.
That was an easy delivery, though, made by Southern Illinois. That's where Falker's got to go straight up and not hesitate to get that walk because he really had his defender on his hip.
Galloway guarded by Mullins. A.J. Ratliff banked it in for 3 to tie the game.
Oops.
Timeout, Chris Lowry. A.J. Ratliff coming off a rough game at Kentucky, had 4 points on 2 out of 10 shooting. He'll take the good fortune with the 3 ball off the bank. It's 13 apiece.
You can see Shaw putting the ball on the floor, the nice little step-back dribble, and the delivery over the top. That's outstanding basketball.
Don't you love the way Falker walked him up on here? Send it in, big fella. A little elevation before Christmas. And how about this one?
Little Sunday banking hours in Bloomington.
Oh, you need a little smooch during the holidays. Rewarded.
An 11-2 run for Indiana over the last 5 minutes. We're looking for some consistency and sustained confidence from A.J. Ratliff. Came in highly touted, the 18th Mr. Basketball in Indiana high school play to come to IU. Last year, when bothered by a broken thumb, averaged under 4 points per game. And he's made a big difference this year. He has scored in their wins, as you saw on the graphic. He's scored under 4 points per game in their 3 losses.
I thought he was too timid against Duke, and against Charlotte he has 18 points. So when he can ring the bell, it certainly helps his team and cause.
Xavier Keeling called for the foul. Team fouls now on Indiana. Falker travels. Let's check in with Dari Nolka. Here's a Sports Center 30 at 30 update.
All right, guys, it is time to believe in Jeff Garcia. The Eagles quarterback hit Reggie Brown from 19 yards as the Eagles scored 22 points in the fourth, beat the Giants 36-22. They lead the NFC wildcard race. They can lead the division with a win in Dallas next week. And the NBA expected to hand out discipline on Monday after the brawl between the Knicks and Nuggets last night. Next Sports Center, 11 Eastern. ESPN News is always on, guys.
All right, Dari, thank you. Here 8 minutes to go till halftime. Tied at 13. Southern Illinois 7-1. Their only loss was in the Old Spice Classic in Florida to Arkansas, and that was in overtime. Tatum to the bucket. Turned his body to fend off Callaway, but then missed the shot.
Well, he did a nice job. It went to the left hand. Just couldn't finish.
Well, with this motion offense that Southern Illinois runs, they're awfully difficult to box out.
Out of bounds with 1 second on the shot clock, and we get immediate timeout. These two coaches preach defense, and that's what we've seen. Tied at 13, 17 and a half to go.
You've been looking forward to a celebration this big all year. It's time to indulge in Red Lobster's Big Seafood Festival, a feast we're preparing with new combinations of our biggest, most indulgent seafood, like succulent rock lobster tail and king crab with decadent jumbo shrimp scampi. Or try a combination of 3 of your jumbo shrimp favorites. The bigger the seafood, the bigger the celebration. So come in and feast before it's over. Only at Red Lobster.
Lakers, Heat, NBA Christmas Day on ABC. The stars come out in Miami for one of the biggest regular season games of the year, featuring 2 coaching legends and the league's 2 best guards. Kobe takes on Finals MVP Dwayne Wade in a game that's become a holiday tradition. Christmas Day, Lakers, Heat. Coverage begins at 2 Eastern on ABC.
If you're a man over 50,
broken frame.
Here's a great holiday gift idea. Give clear vision with standard or custom view LASIK from Marriott Eye Centers. You'll get the guaranteed lowest price on LASIK at our tri-state service area. And we're the only local providers of Itralaze, the safe, no-blade procedure. This year, give maximum vision correction.
Clear vision and light.
LASIK vision correction at Marion Eye Centers and Optical.
Hi, this is Bill Bonin II, Community Bank President of People's National Bank in Marion and Harrisburg. People's National Bank wishes the Salukis the best of luck this season. People's National Bank has been serving the residents of Southern Illinois since 1909. Stop by our new permanent facility located at 2803 17th Street in Marion, or one of our other 10 locations located throughout Southern Illinois, and see what a true family-owned bank is all about.
Welcome to ESPN's Holiday Hoops, presented by K Jewelers.
Sean McDonough, Jay Billis, Bill Raftery back at Assembly Hall. Indiana's 4-0 this year. We'll come back to tie up Southern Illinois at 13 apiece. 7:32 to go till halftime. Holiday Hoops presented by K Jewelers here on ESPN. Delighted to have you with us.
And Brian Mullins on the ball. He's going to have to get it going on defense. This kid rags you as good as anybody I've seen.
It takes you so long. It took them almost 20 seconds just to get in their offense because of that great work by Mullins, and he gets called for a small change.
A small change.
You know, it's funny. They really didn't get into their offense because Southern Illinois wouldn't let them. And this is one of those games where you're going to have to go off the bounce at times and break off from what your sets tell you should do.
Your offensive ability has to take over, and they just take away execution.
Shaw missed the front end of a 1-and-1.
Can't afford to miss free throws. You work too hard to get to the line.
Just 65% from the line for the season for Indiana. As we mentioned, they don't get there very often.
And Faulker does such a great job directing traffic. If he's fronted, he points to where the ball should be headed. Assists his teammate with a little screen.
He knows he's open from some angle, and he'll work to get the ball around to the angle he's open and then seal off.
Clemens, the drive, lost it on the way up. Only one bucket in more than 7 minutes now for Southern Illinois. Keeling, a little brush. His shot never got up in the rim, and then Indiana called for a foul as Shaw and Clemens got knocked to the deck. Foul is on Keeling, his second. He's played a surprising number of minutes for Coach Sampson. He scored only 8 points all season long before tonight, and 6 of those 8 were in a blowout win over Chicago State.
And when he's gotten in, he's only had 6 minutes, Sean, so you're right.
Well, he's stronger. Stemler was getting muscled in there, and he wanted a little bit more bulk and strength to be able to guard Shaw.
Now they use that little brush screen inside to free the passing lane. Here it comes again.
Now Indiana making it hard for Southern Illinois to get into its offense. Faulker finally decided to drive, and when he did, he charged into Xavier Keeling. Second foul on Randall Faulker.
Well, that was an accident waiting to happen. When you get a big guy out here, the defense starts salivating. Just get there early and take the hit.
Well, all you have to do is pull up for a short jumper off the glass. Randall Falker just making a bad decision off the dribble. The drive was good. It was a good idea to go against that pressure, but you have to be under control.
So Falker to the bench, and that's a problem for Coach Lowry. He pointed out that in the one game they lost to Arkansas, Lowry fouled out, and that really hurt them. A.J. Ratliff for three, and the run continues for Indiana. A couple of three balls off the bench for A.J.
Nobody picked up the ball in transition. There was a sub.
He's so good, though, Jamal, with the blow-by. He plays with abandon.
Just the second bucket for Southern Illinois in more than 8 minutes. The runner by Tatum to get them back within one. Armon Bassett into the ball game, number one, the backup guard. Stemler's shot was deflected.
Nothing soft. You got to go in there aggressively. You're going to take a hit.
Stemler wanted to go to Southern Illinois out of high school. They gave that spot. He thought he might get to Matt Shaw. Those two are guarding each other right now. Stemler up on Shaw. They've known each other a long time. Stemler wound up after a brief stint at Bradley in junior college and now in his first year in Indiana. Tatum with 5 to shoot. Defended by Ratliff. 4-3. Clemens crashed, but the rebound was corralled by Roderick Wilmot. 4.5 to go till halftime. Indiana by 1.
Got to give it to White. He was open.
Yeah, he could. And Bassett can blow by, too. Played very well, as you recall, in the second half of the Duke game.
DJ White. Long with the jumper. The rebound by Boyle, who was nearly fouled by Stemler. And now Mullins, his dad, Michael, an AAU coach. The Illinois Wolves, they've had a good relationship with Southern Illinois. A relationship that got even better as far as Southern Illinois was concerned when he sent his son to Carbondale. And a foul on the drive. Timeout with 3:55 to go till halftime.
This is the legend of Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly.
Sting like a
bee. Now available.
I've done something special.
Bring home the greatest on DVD.
I'm a world figure.
I am from the House of Shock. His life.
Who's the champ of the world?
His legend.
History will be written.
His words.
That alternative is justice.
I am America. I am the greatest.
I'm the champion of the world.
Ali Rap. DVD and book available now.
After days of concern for our customers, I am pleased to announce that the Center for Disease Control has declared the E. coli outbreak in 4 Northeast states over. We put our customers' health and safety above all else and are working closely with health authorities and produce suppliers to prevent this from happening again. I can assure you that Taco Bell food is absolutely safe to eat, and we look forward to serving you. Thank you.
Between South Half and a bright red sweatshirt. He's no longer in white pants. He's now wearing...
Disciplined investing. It isn't about star fund managers. At T. Rowe Price, it's about experienced investment teams that stay the course. For each 1, 5, and 10-year period, over 70% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Dari Noka in studio. Coming up on the K Jewelers halftime report, we'll show you how Connecticut stayed perfect and won its 28th straight home game. Rick Majerus, Steve Lavin will be in to tell us what history will really mean to Bob Knight once he passes Dean Smith, and also tell you when we might expect select Knicks and Nuggets to be disciplined for their roles in Saturday's Brawl at the Garden. It's all coming up at the half. Back to Sean and Bill.
All right, Dari, thank you. Here Bloomington, 16-15 in favor of Indiana, just under 4 minutes to go in the half.
Well, we were all aghast when we saw that tape last night of that terrible event at the Garden. I mean, the embarrassment to everybody who plays the game.
Especially after what happened with the Detroit-Indiana game. You'd think that the players would be more in tune with the way you have to handle a volatile situation, but apparently not.
Now here's the 1-3-1 show. West Virginia was very effective with it in the tournament against Southern Illinois and threw them off as it is right now.
Totally different look now. Takes them out of their motion.
Tony Young.
Turnover because of the change. Kelvin's been around. He knows what he's doing on the Pines.
ESPN has a college basketball doubleheader Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. The Kent State Golden Flashes take on number 6 Duke. And then at 9 Eastern, the great rivalry game, Missouri and Illinois in the Busch bragging rights game. Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers on ESPN Tuesday night. 10 turnovers now for the Salukis. They won the last meeting between these two schools. They're 1-3 all-time against Indiana, but won the last tilt back in 2001 in Carbondale, the only game between the two ever played at SIU Arena. Lance Stemler, followed by Boyle. That turned out to be a great year for both teams. At the end of that season, Indiana wound up in the national championship game where they lost to Maryland after ironically beating Kelvin Sampson's Oklahoma Sooners in the national semifinals. And Bruce Weber led Southern Illinois that year, 2001-2002, to the Sweet 16 where they lost to UConn.
What a team they had that year with Kent Williams and Jermaine Dearman, Roland Roberts, who transferred in from Virginia Tech.
And then Matt Painter took over, continued it, and Chris Lowry adding to the rich tradition.
Jamal Foster, 6'10 junior from Columbia, Missouri, into the ball game. Tony Boyle's foul, his third. He's gone out of the ball game.
Well, Foster, when he comes in the ball game, he may not have any fouls, but his team has too many, so he can't come in and make a mental mistake and commit a foul and put Indiana on the free throw line.
Stemler with a really big rebound that trip. That's where he can help as well as that deep shooting.
That's Clemens. Strong drive, and he's fouled. Wesley Clemens will go to the line. Sophomore from Indianapolis Northwest High School. And Coach Lowry, when visited yesterday, said as soon as this young man's confidence level catches up with his talent, he is going to be something special.
Yeah, you can see how he put it on the deck. He's got good speed and strength.
You have to take that right hand away. He really wants to drive to that right hand. If you can sit on that and make him go left, at least you have a better opportunity of slowing him down.
You know, we were talking about Bob Knight before. Their defense of Southern Illinois reminds me of Bob at Army, where it was punishing, very difficult, and as we noted earlier, the time you use trying to get over the half-court line and into your offensive flow, you don't have much time left.
Free throws by Clemens, making a one-point game. Under 3 minutes to go till halftime. Saw that Jamal Tatum has returned for Southern Illinois. He leads all scorers with 9. Rebound in traffic down to Wesley Clemens.
Great checkouts.
But a bad shot by Indiana. Bassett can get that shot anytime. What a move.
How about the lingerie on the deck there? Shake it, mate.
Boy, has he been terrific tonight. 11 points, 5 out of 7 shooting. He's the only player who looks comfortable at the offensive end.
He's got juice. He's got a live body.
Well, he's the only guy on the Southern Illinois team that can go out and get his own shot. So when things break down, when there's too much pressure, he can go on his own and get something good.
There's the trap. Look at the rotation and the recovery. Scintillating, huh?
Indiana doing well, moving the ball quickly, and yet Southern Illinois recovers so well. Great save by Ratliff at midcourt. And a foul on Foster.
See, there's
he bumped DJ White.
There's the foul I was talking about, Sean. You can see Tatum bringing the ball down court. And just a little inside-out move, the step back. That's pretty, Bill.
The same hand change. Watch this one now. Get the janitor. A little extra garment on the deck.
You know, Sean, getting back to Foster, that was the foul I'm talking about. Yep. Committing a foul with DJ White 2 steps off the lane where he'd have to make a turnaround jump shot over you instead of getting into you and getting to the rim. That's a bad foul.
And DJ at 63%, he's got to get better if they're going to dump it down to him.
Missed almost all of last year to DJ White. The broken left foot, played in only 5 games. 2005 Big Ten Freshman of the Year. And he averaged over 13 points per game. Coach Sampson fears he doesn't run as well as he used to because of the foot problems and some weight gain, a lot of it muscle, since then.
He's not as explosive as he was 2 years ago, but he'll get that back. He just needs to work on it.
Shaw with his old buddy Stemler running out. And then a long rebound to Earl Calloway, who looks to push. The senior from Atlanta.
Nice control. That's one thing in his career here. Once in a while, it's a little too quick.
Kelvin Sampson says he wants to play like it's the Audubon all the time. Sometimes he has to learn how to play in the 25-mile-per-hour zone.
The school zone, too, he said, I think.
DJ White bodied up, and another foul on Foster, his second.
They're just stealing some minutes with Falker with his 2, trying to get to the half.
Yeah, Jamal Foster played in a total of 8 minutes over their last 5 games, so they didn't expect to have to go to him, but the foul difficulties inside have made it necessary. Double bonus, 2 shots for DJ White, the junior from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Really transferred out of here after the coaching change. He came to Indiana because of a long relationship with the previous coach, Mike Davis. They attended the same church in Alabama. When DJ was a youngster, after meeting with Kelvin Sampson, Kelvin went to the White home in Alabama to visit. He'd elected to stay, and they couldn't afford to lose him. They had already lost their 3 top scorers from last year, 2 to graduation and 1 to a transfer.
Yeah, Robert Baden transferred to UAB with Mike Davis. And I'll tell you one thing that Indiana really needs right now is to knock some free throws down. They're getting to the line, but not really taking advantage of those free throw opportunities.
Yeah, White on the floor now for Mike White, that is, the center spot. He can really bang, rebound, some nice cross again.
And Tatum fouled. And he'll go to the line for the first time tonight. Callaway called for the personal.
Yeah, Southern Illinois reminds you of a weekend in the... I'll talk to Jay about this because it's about playgrounds. I know you were yachting and sailing when you were a kid.
That's right.
But you go out
over
to play,
South Boston,
and one of these kids jumps in and guards you.
No, you don't want that.
It's like what a long morning and afternoon it's going to be.
Yeah, you want to go to the playground, get a sweat up, and take some unimpeded jumpers, and these guys are right in you on every catch and making you go out past what is now the 3-point line just to catch it.
Tatum made the first free throw, 78% for the year for Coach Lowry. Was 34 years old. He was the youngest head coach in the NCAA tournament each of the last 2 years. 4 young children. He married his high school sweetheart Erica, who they tell us is rougher on the officials during SIU games than Coach Lowry himself.
That happens with wives a lot. Erica's not alone in college basketball.
My wife is on the referee side. Look at this pressure and denial. And the cover.
Freshman from Terre Haute, Indiana, with the nifty lay-in after running right down the middle of the lane. That doesn't happen very often against the Salukis.
Well, that's what happens when you keep your dribble alive and get in an angle and explode by the guy's hip.
Chance for the last shot of the half and the lead for Southern Illinois.
They want to pull the trigger with about 4 seconds left on the shot clock. That gives them some time for an offensive rebound.
They got to clear.
Good spacing in the half court. The rare shot by Mullins. Chance for a heave. That will not go for Roderick Wilmot. First bucket of the half for Mullins gives them the lead. Tatum, the leading scorer with 13. Now let's join Dari Noka, Rick Majerus, and Steve Labb in the K Jewelers halftime report.
Welcome to ESPN's Holiday Hoops, presented by K Jewelers.
Hello and welcome into the K Jewelers Happy.
Get past the block, you have the shot. Crowd for the aftershock. Life is a sport, the life on the court is sort of like a marriage. We committed, cause quitting is like a divorce. Your average just ain't good enough. We bring the A game. Better check the numbers, see what we putting up. Watch us take it to the gram, take a shot, make it dance. It's the Big Ten. This is where we play to win. Big Ten. Welcome to the big stage.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and go. Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois. Step up and drive.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, your good health is as important to us as it is to you. The Medicine Shop is dedicated to providing you friendly, personal service, convenience, low prices, and knowledgeable people you can trust. Your Medicine Shop pharmacist can accurately fill all of your prescription needs and take the time to answer all your questions. We have convenient parking, free prescription delivery, and fast approval of almost all insurance plans. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, real people providing the best health care possible. Visit the location nearest you.
Sunday Showdown presented by Alltel Wireless continues from Bloomington, Indiana. Southern Illinois with a 1-point lead at halftime. Sean McDonough, Jay Billis, Bill Raftery mentioned Chris Lowry talking about the similarities between these two teams. Used the expression smash mouth basketball. That's what we saw in the first half. Only Jamal Tatum seemed to get into an offensive rhythm.
And it's because he can go get his own shot. He can put the ball on the deck. He can get out in transition. Jamal Tatum had 13 points in the first half, going 5 of 7 from the field. The rest of his team, only 10 points combined, 4 of 11 for the rest of his team. But Southern Illinois also had 10 turnovers in the first half.
And who wants to play against them, Jay? They string out any ball screen. The reaction on closeouts. They make sure on the dual penetration to assist. And then if you get the opportunity, the challenge on the jump shot, forcing a tough one, screen out and get the rebound. Total defensive package.
Southern Illinois actually shot 50% from the floor for the half, but they took just 18 shots. Offensive rebound by Joey Shaw, now another by DJ White.
And that's where they've got to impose some will, get some second opportunities, push the bodies under the rim.
You know, that was a good example of DJ White now as opposed to 2 years ago. Very strong and a strong move, but not quite as explosive elevating to the rim as he was a couple of years ago.
Still a preseason all Big Ten selection. And the leading scorer for the year for Indiana coming in just under 14 points per game. Strong drive by Matt Shaw. And a junior from Centralia, Illinois, fouled by Stemler.
You see DJ White using that big body to ward off Shaw, push him underneath, and can't really see it from that angle, but he doesn't get up as high or elevate like he used to. He was a player that could really change ends with tremendous speed. Big-time shot blocker. Reminded you a little bit of a poor man's James Worthy, the way he ran the floor.
And Sean mentioned the two injuries last year and the year before, and he fell in the Charlotte game. And actually, there was a big concern, a hush here, but fortunately, he was okay.
Matt Shaw made the first free throw. Played at Centralia High School. About an hour from the campus in Carbondale, the Centralia Orphans, the winningest high school program in high school basketball history in this country. They started this season with 1,975 wins.
Well, the Orphans, Stemler on that drive, he left them all alone standing there.
And a throwaway by Shaw as he was not on the same page with DJ White. The fewest points in the first half of a game ever in this building, Notre Dame and Indiana. I think we were here for that one too, fellas. In 2004, almost eclipsed that mark tonight as the two teams combined for 45 points.
And Tatum very quick using screens. They space out, go cross court. See how he ran over here and they get the walk. Is that number 4 or 5?
Well, the double team from Stemler was what caused the walk. He needs to get rid of that ball right away or make a quick move and beat that double team.
By the way, you were mentioning White and elevation. You were not known for your elevation. Or lack of.
I didn't fall down as much as you do, though.
I'm going to stay out of this one. I'm tempted to jump in on both sides. Armand Bassett gave it off to Shaw, who nearly traveled. Whoops. Almost traveled again by Bassett. And finally the turnover. That was the turnover waiting to happen.
Pretty.
Tatum, the lob for Mullins, who threw it away, but it's run down by Falker.
I don't think Mullins, known for his soaring ability in the open floor, the pugnacious, tough-minded defender and point.
What a pass. Falker couldn't finish off the feed from Tatum. Now it's Joey Shaw. He's been a pleasant surprise this year as a redshirt freshman. They didn't know quite what they had in Shaw. Following the rebounding action, Falker went crashing into the pile, and I believe
I think Stemler.
Yep, it is Stemler. Crowd doesn't like it, nor does Kelvin Sampson. They thought it was Falker, as I saw. Instead, it's a second on Stemler, both here in the opening moments of the second half.
Well, Falker is tough-minded, though. The whistle may have been before that. But Shaw doing some nice things in the open floor, but not finishing. You can just see who got him first, right?
Yeah, that one seemed like it should have gone on Falker, but plenty of contact to go around. It's just who you pick.
Falker, kind of a renaissance man. He mentioned his biking. He's also an art aficionado. Nice. Sang tenor in his high school choir. Mullins for three.
They needed him. I mean, they spread out and they reversed the ball. And he's got to bite you every once in a while to keep the defense honest.
Yeah, just a good look also by Randall Falker. Much calmer approach to getting it out of that double team and away from the defense.
Well, the sixth three ball of the year for Mullins is a perfect 4.0 student at Southern Illinois, as he was in high school as well in Downers Grove, Illinois. Foul on Matt Shaw, his second.
Well, you mentioned how tough the defense on both teams are, Sean, and this is the ability to recognize and spread so that when you do close out, you get an open opportunity. Step into that jumper, a little nylon by the southpaw.
But don't you think, Bill, when they come with that double, DJ White can't hesitate. He's either got a double or not. But when he goes over there and kind of dances around in the lane, you're giving Falker an opportunity to see across and find an open man.
Stemler missed the first free throw, made the second. He had attempted only 9 free throws all season. Entering tonight's action, 2 out of 3 from the line tonight. 3-point lead for the Salukis. Their largest lead was 8 in the first half very early. The largest lead for Indiana tonight, 3.
I like the pick and slip. What a nice read, huh? Good solid play by Ratliff.
Well, Tony Young's been a little bit quiet tonight. He had 22 against Western Kentucky, a very good team coached by Darren Horn. Went 6 of 7 from the field, had an outstanding game, but he's been awfully quiet in this one.
And before that, he was 5 for 20, so you're right.
Young hasn't scored yet tonight. Shaw, strong down the lane, got called for the charge.
Well, that's an aggressive move. I love it by Shaw. No question about the charge, but that lets you know you're in the house to play some serious hoops.
You'd like to see a little intermediate game by both these teams to pull up after maybe one hard dribble. That's just too easy to step in there and take a charge when you're trying to drive all the way from the top of the key.
3 fouls on Shaw. He goes to the bench after the good defense by Earl Calloway.
The stagger.
Ratliff trying to shed Young.
Oh, nice job with the ball delivered on time. Oh my goodness, another one.
I didn't see that one. White called for the travel. He can't believe it, nor can Kelvin Sampson.
He's taken a little bit too long making these moves, trying to throw his body into the defender to dislodge him.
Well, I thought he did keep the pivot foot, Sean.
I have no idea where that travel was.
There's that flare screen that worked earlier. Great recovery by Callaway.
On Tatum. 4 minutes gone by, second half. Southern Illinois by 3. Make it 5. Tatum, the pull-up in the bank.
They had cleared the left side, and nobody hollered to inform the defense.
Well, he's been their entire offense. You can tell he is a guy that can get his own shot, and perhaps the only one on this side.
And this clear, Sean gets him to the rim. A little kiss, Sean McDonough, before Christmas.
The NCAA NCAA Women's Basketball Championship coming in March.
I wonder who it's for.
Could be anyone.
My favorite color. What a coincidence.
I did ask for something shiny.
It's that time of year again when you'll find exceptional values on your favorite Lexus vehicles.
Well, I have some things to do inside.
Me too.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Your 3 medium Pizza Hut pizzas.
That's only $5 each, right?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Thank you.
Honey! The Pizza Hut kid made a mistake again! I got 3 medium Pizza Hut pizzas for the same price as those other guys! Yeah!
It's no mistake. Pay just $5 each for 3 medium one-topping hand-tossed Pizza Hut pizzas. Want to get 3 for $5? Go for the good stuff.
Give a holiday card everyone in the family will love. Pick up the Pizza Hut card today.
This sure brings me back.
To when? 5 minutes ago? You never had that.
Never had a Coke before? You think I've gone soft in the head?
That's Coke Zero.
The 13th president was Millard Fillmore.
Okay.
Do you know what the capital of Djibouti is? The capital of Djibouti is Djibouti. Don't try to tell me I've never had a Coke before. Got a mind like a steel trap.
Da, 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 da. Enjoy Cokeness at mycokerewards.com.
UPS, covering more of Europe before noon than anyone. UPS, covering more ground faster than ever.
This telecast is available on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. Sunday Showdown presented by Alltel Wireless. Southern Illinois trying to post another early season marquee win for the Missouri Valley Conference. Team that put league that put 4 teams in the NCAA tournament last year, 2 of them to the Sweet 16. They're up to an even better start collectively this year. Bassett for 3, beautifully executed out of Kelvin Sampson's timeout.
Sean, that was today. Remember that play on the out of bounds? Perfectly set. They spread, and then the conversion.
Well, they overload one side and then drive the ball to get an open shooter on the perimeter. Nicely done.
Falker. Now Boyle. The long 2, rebounded in traffic by White. Has to watch out for swinging those elbows again. Callaway came out at the end of last season. White doubled and fouled on the way up by Tony Young.
I'd say there's 2 illustrations of practice makes you a little bit better. The execution on the out of bounds and then that little pick and pop to get White at least an opportunity at the free throw line.
So foul difficulties piling up for the Salukis. That's 3 on Young. Boyle has 3. Matt Shaw has 3. White misses the free throw. Clemens back into the ball game. White 2 out of 5 from the field and from the line. Now 2 out of 6 from the line. Randall Falker the rebound.
Boy, so deflating to work that hard, and it's happened a few times where Indiana's gone to the line, coming away with maybe 1 or missed the front end of a 1-and-1.
Nice pressure and denial.
That wants a 5 count. Ratliff deflected it away. Callaway ran it down, and then a foul in front of the Indiana bench. The crowd loves the defense from the Hoosiers. College basketball continues. ESPN 2. Tomorrow night, 7 Eastern Time, number 17, Oklahoma State takes on Tennessee from Nashville. Holiday Hoops presented by K Jewelers. ESPN 2 tomorrow night.
You think that'll be a little different tempo than this ball game?
I would agree. And they played great against Syracuse. Bogan and company.
Mario Bogan, an outstanding big guy. And Chris Lofton of Tennessee. I'm not sure there's a better shooter in America.
Grace cut.
Ratliff fouled as he went up for the jam. Well, we've seen examples here just in the last minute or so of what a quality coach Kelvin Sampson is. They run some beautiful offense, executed at the defensive end as well.
And this is one that Southern Illinois likes to stay open so you don't get a back cut. That had to be done perfectly to thread the needle and everything but a chance at the free throw line.
It looked like Wesley Clemens got caught ball watching a little bit, and A.J. Ratliff able to sneak behind him on the basket cut, but Indiana again having problems knocking down free throws. And Kelvin Sampson talked to his team about the importance of winning the free throw battle. But getting to the line is only half that battle. You got to knock them down once you get there.
How about the coaches, head coaches on his bench? Unbelievable. Ray McCallum, Jeff Meyer, Jerry Green from Oregon, Asheville originally, right? And then Tennessee.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time with Roy Williams.
Plenty of head coaching experience, certainly on that Indiana bench. 2 more misses from the line for IU. They've attempted 11 more free throws than Southern Illinois. They've outscored the Salukis by just 2 points at the line because of the bricks. 6 minutes gone by, second half.
Sean, Indiana has matched the defensive intensity right now. They've raised their energy level.
The clock. Need a shot. They don't get it. They never saw that clock that Jay was talking about. Tyrone Green started to dribble away from the hoop as the shot clock expired.
2 great stops in a row. That's how you meet it.
Well, one of the problems that Southern Illinois had in that was Brian Mullins not in the ball game. Tatum not used to running the point, used to hunting his shot.
A little moving screen. I don't know if they give it to White. I think it may have been him.
It is on DJ White, his second.
Well, Indiana is working so hard on the defensive end, and they're just coughing it back, missing free throws, and then a mental mistake right here. That's just a dumb play by a veteran player.
Stand still. If he doesn't set his man up, it's not your fault.
Both of his fouls have been silly. The other one for throwing elbows. Crowd wanted to travel. Falker missed the shot, tipped around, controlled by Ratliff. And then he was fouled.
Street fight. That's what this is. I mean, at that level, just getting into one another and competing. This is great to watch. I know you'd like a few more points, Jay, but the overall involvement is extraordinary.
Well, you can't play any harder or put any more into defensive possessions than these teams are putting into it.
Matt Shaw still on the bench with 3 fouls. That was the 4th personal on Tony Boyle and the 7th team foul, so it'll be 1-1. Indiana will be shooting for the rest of the game. 13:24 to go. Boyle the first on the verge of extinction. Shaw and Young with 3 each. And the crowd, the mock cheer as finally Indiana capitalizes at the line. Ratliff the front end of the 1-1.
Well, this really puts a lot of pressure now on the Southern Illinois defense. They either put Indiana on the line or they may have to back off just a bit defensively. But Indiana not making them pay by knocking these free throws down.
9 out of 19 from the line now for the Hoosiers.
You can't get into their offense with this terrific denial on the perimeter.
Wesley Clemens, avid stamp collector. One of his treasured possessions he inherited from his grandmother. Turned over to Callaway, and he's fouled. And he'll go to the line with a chance to tie and take the lead.
Could be Falker, too, on the trail position. But that's the kind of speed under control that can be devastating. But again, they've stepped it up. So much energy on the D.
Well, Southern Illinois now facing a defense that's every bit as good as their defense. And it's really rattled them.
3 fouls now on Wesley Clemens, all of them here in the second half. They've piled up 8 fouls in just more than 7 minutes since the break.
Well, it seems like Indiana should be up 8 or 10 right now.
Callaway.
Unbelievable.
65% for the season from the line.
They were working on the free throws and punishing drills, too. If he didn't make it running, and it's unbelievable how it can become contagious.
I don't think any of these Hoosiers want to be at the line right now. Just the atmosphere in the building is the expectation of a miss. They're 3 out of 10 from the line in this half. And finally, they get even at 30 apiece. Had they been better from the line, as Jay points out, they would be comfortably ahead. Brian Mullins, his teammates call him G.I. Joe. He does look a little bit like the G.I. Joe doll that Jay travels with in his briefcase.
That in his blankie. Nice little kiss release by Young. They're going to compliment Tatum, and he can do it.
And the drought ends for the Salukis. They go back up by 2. They look to trap Bassett.
Good job.
Bassett bouncing to the bucket. And there's a 3-on-2 break for Southern Illinois. And a goaltend by Ratliff. Count the basket for Tony Young.
Well, they do take advantage. When they get an open floor opportunity, they convert.
Well, anytime you drive from the point, which Armand Bassett did there, you've got to get rotation back. Indiana didn't get it once they coughed it up. It was an easy advantage situation for Southern Illinois.
There's their circle play. They get White locked low. Boy, Faulker does a great job denying.
Ratliff. Stamler tip. And then the rebound corralled by Jamal Foster.
Somebody's got to pick up ball here.
What a screen by Faulker.
Timeout. Foul called on Bassett, his first.
Hey, want a Bud Light?
Yeah.
Whoa. Rubber floors. Just had them installed. Now we'll never break a Bud Light. Oh, nice. Remote.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Too much bounce.
Maybe.
Jared here. Michael Strahan here.
And a delicious footlong Subway Club. Less than half the fat of a McDonald's Big Mac.
But twice the meat, so it fills me up without slowing me down.
Less fat.
More meat.
Less fat.
More meat.
Less fat.
More meat.
Less fat.
More meat!
Do you have the code? The ultimate code of seduction. The Armani Code. The Dragons for Men by Giorgio Armani.
At Dillard's.
I wonder who it's for.
Could be anyone.
My favorite color. What a coincidence.
I did ask for something shiny.
It's that time of year again when you'll find exceptional values on your favorite Lexus vehicles.
Well, I have some things to do inside.
Me too.
The Lexus December to Remember sales event.
Dari Nogo, the Sports Center in-game update. Oregon State and LSU. And look at Magnum roll for the Tigers with a block. Big Baby. Big Baby going the length of the court and hitting the pull-up. He's got 19. LSU up 13. Back to Sean, Bill, and Jay.
All right, Dari, thank you. As expected here, a defensive struggle. These two coaches knew what was coming. They knew what to expect. They worked against what they expected. Is there anything else they can do to try to help their team score points?
Well, you just try to keep their confidence up. But Indiana was trying to get to the free throw line as part of their game plan. They've been getting there. They just can't hit them when they're there.
I think the defense on both sides has been extraordinary, leading to turnovers and an open opportunity. It's key to get easy baskets. Ratliff that time.
Well, he's been good off the bench.
Smooth pull-up by Ratliff. And Ted Hillary blew the whistle.
Kelvin Sampson's upset because he thought it was a violation on the inbound play. A.J. Ratliff's had a nice game. I mean, that was a big-time pull-up jump shot there in transition. Instead of taking it too far and charging, which we've seen a lot of tonight.
The women waiting for Ratliff for a while to become more consistent. Young the miss, Callaway the rebound. Ratliff came in with a lot of hype as a Mr. Basketball. Hasn't lived up to it. Not had a season yet when he's averaged more than 6 points per game. Entering this one, he's at 8.5 as a junior now. Foster the rebound.
Using the dribble wisely, and he didn't get too deep, Jay. Smart pull-up, just didn't convert.
Doing a good job of driving that closeout and getting into the lane.
They got to get Tatum going on this end.
Young.
Nice.
Walker off to Foster. And he's fouled.
Kelvin Sampson upset a moment ago after the shot went in by A.J. Ratliff. You see the shot goes down, and then Southern Illinois trying to get the ball inbounds quickly, and they inbound it. That's a violation. I don't, there's no way that should have been anything other than Indiana ball right there. That was a missed call by the official.
Kelvin's mad again. He didn't think this was a shooting foul, but Foster is going to the line to shoot a pair after the second personal on Bassett. The crowd and Kelvin think that's justice as he misses the first.
Yeah, Ratliff had a pretty good defensive play there. He got all ball, but they called it right from behind. Now he gets all ball before any incident occurs. Should have been a play on.
Foster attempted only 2 free throws all year before tonight and made them both. DJ White, a rare breather. He played more than 19 minutes in the first half. Foster goes out. Now it's Indiana down by 3, nearly midway through the second half. Callaway went right by Mullins. Missed the pull-up. Offensive rebound by Keeling, and Callaway's shot hung on the rim and fell off. Out of bounds to Indiana.
Well, they looked so good at times, but not converting either the layup, the pull-up, or the free throws.
Well, how many opportunities is Indiana going to have? This has got to deflate them just a bit. To have so many chances, and not one of them seems to be going down.
Bassett running the show, recruited by Mike Davis. Ratliff, another lucky bounce on a 3. Earlier at a bank from nearly straight on. That one hit the rim, the glass, the rim again, and dropped in.
Well, he is playing with confidence, stepping into the jump shot. Got the little rattler to go down. See if they use Shaw a little bit.
$12 points for Ratliff. The last 3 got Indiana even, got the crowd involved. Falker double team. 7 to shoot. Young called for an offensive foul. Excellent defense by Armand Bassett. And this 4 fouls now on Tony Young.
This is a clinic right now.
Well, it's a tough man contest is what it is. Well, what a terrific job by Armand Bassett, the freshman, to move his feet and get in front of the veteran, the senior, Tony Young.
Bassett from Terre Haute, Indiana, spent last year at Hargrave Military Academy in Virginia. One of the top prep programs in the country. He averaged 24 points per game. Whistle.
They got Falker grabbing the jersey.
And that is his 3rd. Let's check in with Dari Noka, Sports Center 30 at 30.
All right, guys, the Tennessee Titans are 7-7. Despite gaining just 98 yards of offense, they beat the Jags 24-17 by becoming the first team in league history with 3 defensive touchdowns of at least 60 yards in a game. And the NBA expected to hand out its punishment on Monday for the brawl last night in New York between the Knicks and Nuggets. Next Sports Center at 11 Eastern. ESPN News is always on, guys.
Xavier Keeling gets a fortunate bounce.
Yeah.
Kelvin Sampson can't believe what's going on at the free throw line. He'll take the makes any way he can.
These kind of games, you need all the free opportunities.
Keeling out of J.O. Johnson High School, Huntsville, Alabama. One of the top 5A programs in Alabama. He was an AAU teammate of DJ White. 2-point lead for Indiana more than midway through the second half. Sat out a lot of the second half due to foul difficulty. Now Tatum, 10 to shoot, under 9 minutes to play. Tatum fouled by Callaway, and he better be careful kicking those legs, inviting a technical. It's his third personal foul.
He didn't have to do that. They were in great shape. It was under 10. Just stay solid.
Wow. 16 fouls, so the next one puts Indiana over the limit. Keeling, a great effort. Out of bounds. Officials conferring. Last touch by Callaway, says Steve Wellmer.
Yeah, good coordination by the officials, too. They get a piece of it.
Indiana weightlifting team here tonight.
Perfect trap.
Yep. Falker escaped, and Stemler fouled him.
One of the few times that Falker, when he's gotten the ball inside, has gotten single coverage. Indiana had trapped off the pick and roll on the sideline, and that left Falker open inside.
Just 2 points and 4 rebounds for Falker. The foul on Stemler, his third, the team's 7th. We spoke with Coach Lowry yesterday. He said, I'm mad at Falker. He hasn't had a double-double all year. He has the kind of ability he should get them with great regularity. But both Coach Lowry and Falker's dad, Wesley, have talked about he's such a nice young man that sometimes he just isn't assertive enough on the court. He doesn't have that mean streak that can help make you a great inside player.
Defensively, he does. Offensively, maybe he defers. Some kids are like that.
Tied again, and you have the feeling that this grinder might come down to a last shot.
Oh, discard.
And Callaway got away with it and hit a long two. He had struggled from the floor the last 2 games, 3 out of 14 against Western Illinois and Kentucky. Not much better tonight. Now just 1 for 5 from the floor. Shot, air ball.
Deflection.
Stemler got a piece of it.
Yep, Ted Hillary got it right. Eugene Crawford concurs. Excellent teamwork again by this trio of officials, working hard to referee this rock fight.
Indiana has forced him to use the dribble. That's not their game as Callaway gets tagged. Solid defense has just forced him to bounce too much. No ball reversal.
And he is the first Hoosier now with 4 fouls. Roderick Wilmot is going to come back into the ball game. Wilmot has not scored tonight. He's their second leading scorer for the year, just under 12 per game.
Well, the problem is it takes away another guy that can handle the ball against pressure in Earl Callaway. So Southern Illinois can go after Indiana in the hopes of turning him over, at least pushing him a little further out on the floor.
Tatum, the front end of a 1-and-1.
He really is a good basketball player.
I love the way he plays.
And improved his defense greatly.
Coach Lowry used the expression star power. Has the great smile, plays with a flair, and he wants the ball in his hands. At crunch time, he made the three-pointer that beat Virginia Tech in the Old Spice Classic earlier this year in the final seconds. They already have wins over an ACC and Big Ten team, Minnesota and Virginia Tech. Vanquished by Southern Illinois. Keeling fouled. He'll go on the line when we come back.
You've been looking forward to a celebration this big all year. It's time to indulge in Red Lobster's Big Seafood Festival, a feast we're preparing with new combinations of our biggest, most indulgent seafood, like succulent rock lobster tail and king crab with decadent jumbo shrimp scampi. Or try a combination of 3 of your jumbo shrimp favorites. The bigger the seafood, the bigger the celebration. So come in and feast before it's over. It's only at Red Lobster.
Lakers, Heat, NBA Christmas Day on ABC. The stars come out in Miami for one of the biggest regular season games of the year, featuring 2 coaching legends and the league's 2 best guards. Kobe takes on Finals MVP Dwayne Wade in a game that's become a holiday tradition. Christmas Day, Lakers, Heat. Coverage begins at 2 Eastern on ABC.
Hey.
You know, Coach, you're the only Saluki to represent Southern Illinois in the NCAA tournament as a player and head coach.
SIU has given me some wonderful opportunities, Ed. That's why I joined the SIU Alumni Association. It's a great way to give back to Southern, and I'm asking all alumni, students, and Saluki fans to join.
That's right, Coach. Membership in the SIU Alumni Association is open to everyone. Join online at SIUalumni.com or call 618-453-2408.
Think of your wall as a canvas and add a beautiful entertainment center from Coleman Rhodes and create a masterpiece that is elegant and classic, casual, traditional, functional, adaptable. An entertainment center from Coleman Rhodes will be enjoyed by the entire family. Come see the outstanding collection of entertainment centers at Coleman Rhodes in downtown West Frankfort with 6 months free financing and free delivery.
With Carson Palmer and Chad Johnson, Cincinnati's one of the AFC's hottest teams making a playoff push. They visit the top pass-catching combo in the NFL. Manning and Marvin try to jumpstart the Colts. What happens when the Bengals visit the Colts? At 8:30 Eastern on ESPN's Monday Night Football.
Great anticipation for that game, particularly in this part of the country. Only about an hour away from Indianapolis. Meanwhile, Matt Shaw, just before the timeout, picked up his 4th foul. So their leading rebounder and scorer for the season is back on the bench. And Xavier Keeling, one of the stories of this game, back at the line. Really a bit player through their first 8 games of the season and appeared in only 3 of them. He's been a force tonight when he makes the first of the 2 free throws.
He's really been the only guy that stepped to the line with confidence to knock him down. He had that one that hit off the heel and got a shooter's bounce, but the other 2, he's shot very well.
You would say that.
Rebounded by Wilmot. Indiana with the ball, a 1-point lead as we approach 7.5 minutes to go here at Assembly Hall. Bassett guarded by Clemens. 15 to shoot. Tough pass. It was deflected, and therefore Ratliff could go into the backcourt for it. Ratliff, another pull-up. Now Mullins for Southern Illinois. His brother Brendan plays at St. Michael's College up in Winooski, Vermont.
Seems like if he captures some rhythm, Sean, they've really been stuck bouncing the ball and not getting into anything.
Good drive, but then the shot too strong. Here's Wilmot on the speedy push. Off for Ratliff, it did not connect. And Ted Hillary says that it will remain Indiana ball.
And Keeling could not fill the lane to make it a perfect break. Just a step too slow.
Ratliff to Bassett with Wilmot, now White, and Keeling. The 5-some on the floor for Kelvin Sampson. And Bassett brushed by Tatum. His 3rd. ESPN with a college basketball doubleheader Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. Kent State and Duke. And then the Busch bragging rights game, always intense. Missouri and Illinois holiday hoops presented by Kay Jewelers on ESPN. I still think you should be the spokesperson, Bill, for Kay Jewelers, since every kiss begins with K.
Well, if you can get it, get me assigned, I'll take advantage.
Well, that's going to be a fun game. It always is every year, that Busch bragging rights game, but Illinois getting back to full strength, and they're really going to be, I think, along with Wisconsin and Michigan State, the contender in the Big Ten.
And Wisconsin with a great win with Pitt. And you're right, when Randall comes back, and here's Shaw. Sean, you mentioned he had the 4.
Yep, so Shaw will play with 4. Southern Illinois down by 3. 6.5 to go.
Here's the 1-3-1. You got Keeling out top and Bassett running the baseline.
You're going to get a corner jumper if you're patient.
20 to shoot. Tatum pulls it out with Mullins, Clemens, Falker, and Shaw for Coach Chris Lowry.
Too much dribble.
10 to shoot. Shaw, you know he's cold. He's been on the bench almost the entire half. Rebounded by DJ White.
Couldn't get a better shot. I mean, pulled the string a little bit.
3 out of the corner, up and good for Roderick Wilmot. Largest lead of the night for Indiana, and a timeout called by the Salukis.
Ordinary toothbrushes can't stand up to it. Oral-B Triumph. Triumph is the first brush with an onboard computer and a floss action brush head to power clean deep between teeth. It helps reverse gingivitis, and it helps give you healthier gums and noticeably cleaner teeth by your next checkup. Get a smile you can feel triumphant about. Oral-B Triumph. Brush like a dentist.
American Pie presents The Naked Mile.
Welcome to The Naked Mile.
One weekend.
You've got to meet my roommate.
I would love to.
No rules.
Whoa, what's that?
American Pie presents The Naked Mile unrated on DVD Tuesday.
Here's an idea. If there's a tool you want this year, try asking for it, like the Craftsman Cross Force Combination Wrench Set. The handles turn 90 degrees, fits better, and feels better. If you want it, ask for it. Craftsman, it's Sears.
Today, I earn rewards points wicked fast with my City Premier Pass credit card, and I do it blindfolded. First, I buy my tickets.
Which airline?
Any. I earn points on all the airplanes. Notice that I earn points for the miles I'm flying. Mind you, I'm still blindfolded.
Don't forget the airline still gives you your frequent flyer miles.
The City Premier Pass credit card is the fastest way to earn rewards points. Rewarding. Very, very, very rewarding.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Orinoco in studio. Sunday's best, presented by Alltel Wireless. How about Tiger Woods? He found around 6 under par 66 to end his year with a win at his own tournament, the Target World Challenge. He ends the year with 8 wins in 15 tour events, 53% clip. That's why he's Sunday's best.
All right, Tari, thank you. Back here in Bloomington. Gentlemen, we've all been here a number of times in recent years, and every time you came here the last few years, you could sense the discord, all the talk about Mike Davis and his future. Would he survive this season? We spoke with Kelvin Sampson yesterday. He said this is really the first time for these players in this program that the focus has been on them. Kelvin Sampson was not a universally popular choice. A lot of the Indiana Nation hoped that there would be a former Hoosier, somebody with ties to the program. But you can sense that he's winning the fans over with the way this scrappy team is playing.
You know, they got the right guy. You know, they're playing Oklahoma-style defense from his early days. His 1-3-1s had its impact at key junctures.
Kelvin Sampson obviously left a very comfortable situation. There's his football colleague Terry Hepner, recently extended for his fine work through the 2011 season. Kelvin was Oklahoma 12 years, 9 straight 20-win seasons, one of only 6 coaches in the country who are active who can make that claim over the last 9 years.
I wasn't sure that Indiana would be able to turn over this Southern Illinois team 18 times thus far as they have. This veteran team, that's amazing that Indiana could do that.
And Bill, you made the point during the timeout, a 6-point lead with the way this game is going is big. After that bucket by Bassett, it's up to 8, and that's a huge lead given the way this game's gone all night.
And they're sticking with the 1-3-1, Sean.
Louis Calasecca used to call it the ambush. Spring it on people, and they have sprung it beautifully.
When we're talking about Coach Sampson, this is not the kind of game you want to play if you're the new coach with a team that is good but not great against a team that is very difficult to play. You're trying to win these fans over, convince them you're the right guy. You don't want to see Southern Illinois on your schedule, especially after an 8-day exam break.
When there are no students here. I mean, this place has been incredibly loud. It's a terrific atmosphere. But to have the students gone, this was a very dangerous game. that perhaps was not as intelligently scheduled as it needed to be.
But mentally, the toughness they've exhibited is extraordinary, Indiana. And they have matched one of the toughest teams emotionally.
Well, that's a reflection of their coach. We mentioned not everybody was thrilled. Ted Kitchell, for one, a starter on the 1981 National Championship team, said it's an absolute disgrace. Talking about the selection of Kelvin Sampson, who came here with an NCAA inquiry into phone calls. He made too many phone calls over a 4-year period at Oklahoma, and as a result won't recruit on the road or be able to call recruits for a year. It was, he felt, an inadvertent mistake. And I know, Jay, you've written online, to you it was not that big a deal.
Well, not as big a deal as the NCAA made out of it.
Give it up.
Wilmot in transition, and the Hoosiers are pulling away.
Well, it's fitting. Calvin talked about what a hard worker and nice kid he is, and Roderick Wilmot with a corner jumper and then the layup. Easy baskets. You got to have them.
Scoring off their defense, and Kelvin Sampson enjoying his team outworking this Southern Illinois team.
His hops aren't quite what they used to be, incidentally. Can't elevate anymore.
Well, Roderick Wilmot sure can elevate on that finish, and DJ White, well, he's enjoying that on the other end, and Kelvin Sampson on the fence enjoying it as well.
How about the spirit here, Sean? This team's really reacted to one another beautifully.
We mentioned the disconnect in the past. That cloud is lifted. Now the focus is just on the game, and in this game tonight, Indiana beating Southern Illinois at its own game, playing better defense than the Salukis, who are definitely one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Well, Indiana going back to man-to-man after a few possessions of that 1-3-1. And another turnover. That's 19 plus a foul now.
Tatum called for the foul. The game track was brought to you by PlayStation 2. 4 fouls on Tatum and a timeout.
Oh, yeah! The Pizza Hut kid made a mistake again! I got 3 medium Pizza Hut pizzas for the same price as those other guys!
It's no mistake. Pay just $5 each for 3 medium, 1-topping, hand-tossed Pizza Hut pizzas. Go for the good stuff.
Class of 94, here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Whatever it is, you can get it on eBay.
You saw the movie, but you didn't see this.
Definitely inappropriate in front of the kids.
See what they didn't show you in the theater.
That's just insanity.
Talladega Nights, unrated, uncut, unbelievable.
Do you know if I'm dead or if this is a sex string?
Now on DVD and Blu-ray disc.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans.
Guess who just got back today?
Built comfortable. Built strong.
Had much to say.
Built right.
Them cats are great. The boys are back in town.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
This is the legend of Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly.
Sting like a bee.
Now available.
I've done something special.
Bring home the greatest on DVD.
I'm a world figure.
I am from the House of Shock. His life.
Who's the champ of the world?
His legend.
History will be written.
His words.
That alternative is justice.
I am America.
I am the greatest.
I'm the champion of the world.
Ali Rap DVD available now.
Number 15, LSU. At Oregon State, 4th of 9 home games for the Beavers in a row, and it's big baby Glenn Davis. Big rebound, one of his 16 boards, 2 of his 22 points. LSU had a 17-point lead, get down to 3, but they end up winning by 7. And Oregon, a 29-point winner at home as well.
Oregon off to a great start this year. Indiana trying to get to 6-3 on the young season. Here in Southern Illinois, its second loss. And the Hoosiers continue to pull away. A.J. Ratliff, the free throw. Remind you, Texas Tech's upcoming schedule. Bob Knight, chance to tie the all-time wins record of Dean Smith in that upcoming game against Bucknell. With a win there, could break it against UNLV on December 28th.
Back to the 1-3-1 to give yet another look to this Southern Illinois offense.
I think it was Callaway. That could be 5 if it is him.
Yes, it is. And Callaway fouls out with 5 points, 3 rebounds. And he was a pest defensively. Out of Westlake High School in Atlanta. Went to New Mexico State for a year, and then to junior college for a year. And here to Indiana.
A.J. Moye's old school.
Yeah, Westlake.
He really sparked them. And, Jay, when you think of the pressure defense the second half by Indiana, and then the Bush, the 1-3-1, those little nuances sort of gain control of this game.
No question. And I'm a little surprised that Southern Illinois didn't handle the pressure a little bit better, simply because they see pressure defense against their offense every day in practice. I mean, they've got to go against their defense, which I think is as good as any defense I've seen all year long.
I would agree.
I might say this Indiana defense tonight's been better, though.
Wilmot, baseline drive, and the acrobatic score, trying to avoid charging into Randall Falker.
They've been getting their way a little bit with the bounce.
Well, this 1-3-1 has totally confounded the Southern Illinois team.
They were lucky to get it back, and Shaw scores after some nice passing.
We mentioned West Virginia had its great impact with Gansey at the point. And their ability to shoot in the NCAA really hurt this team.
Well, that's their West Virginia's primary defense, though. To be able to put in a 1-3-1 and have it executed this well is pretty impressive.
And he comes on and off with it, so he doesn't give a chance to really analyze and beat it.
Mullins called for a second foul. Well, that loss to West Virginia stayed with the Salukis through the offseason. They had a nice year last year, 22 wins, won the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament, but lost by 18 to John Beeline's team. And that helped serve as a motivator. They've made the tournament the last 5 years. I think they have a great chance to be there again.
They will be.
This year. And now the challenge is to get in the tournament and do some damage.
That summer they worked 4 days a week on. We're talking in practice about their bodies. I mean, they are cut and ready to go, and they are just a tough out.
Yeah, their fitness level as a team. There's not one guy on that roster who doesn't look like he can go out and run a triathlon tomorrow.
Now, why are you gambling? You give him the open look.
And a 3 out of the corner for Wesley Clemens. Coming off the best game of his season, 12 points and a career-high 7 rebounds against Western Kentucky. He has 5 points tonight. Ratliff off the right. Ratliff's been fantastic tonight.
Well, he beat him on the sideline. They had to close it, Southern Illinois, and boy, the big fella looming.
Well, you're right, John. Ratliff has been a huge difference in this game with his athleticism, his play on both ends, but he has really been a calming influence, I think, on the team as well.
And they're going to need him to sustain that, don't you think, as they head toward the Big Ten, because it's not a team blessed with a tremendous amount of scoring firepower.
But this is a different. This could have been an awakening for this team. This is the best I've seen them play, even the Duke game.
This is by far the best they have played, especially on the defensive end. And offensively, was it a smooth ride all the way? Absolutely not. It wasn't. This team does not score the ball easily. But with this kind of defense, they're going to be in every game.
And Southern Illinois trying to help the Missouri Valley make another statement tonight. It doesn't look like they're going to win the ball game, but Missouri Valley really got a lot of attention for what they did last year, deservedly so. A lot of people thought they shouldn't have had as many teams in the NCAA tournament as they did. That proved perhaps to be incorrect. Now I think with the resume this year, off the success of last year, people are starting to understand this conference is on a par with the quote-unquote BCS conferences.
I think some of the teams in the league are definitely on a par. I mean, there's no question that if you look at the BCS conferences, Sean and Bill, there are teams at the bottom of every one of those leagues that really aren't very good. But at the same time, there are teams in the Missouri Valley Conference that are outstanding and that can compete with anybody. Wichita State has proven that. Southern Illinois over the last 5 years has been as good, I think, as almost any mid-major program in America.
Well, Bubble Boy, have you picked your 65 yet?
No, I'm going to wait a little longer.
You know what, Sean, I think they've done? They've eliminated the term mid-major where they've played the last few years.
Well, their conference RPI is number 2 right now. You look at Wichita State, they've already won against LSU, against Syracuse. We mentioned the wins out of the conference for this team. Yesterday, Drake beat Iowa. I mean, Iowa's not having a great year.
Iowa's not good.
But Bradley beat Iowa State.
And Iowa State's not good.
Well, you're tough.
Well, but it's true. But that's the problem. I think blowing smoke like that hurts these mid-major programs. I think they need to get the credit that's due when they beat a really good team. Right. They have beaten some really good teams.
Missouri State beat Wisconsin. Is that
okay?
Oh,
that's a great win.
Merry Christmas to you, Scrooge.
Hey, okay, are we going to give the majors credit for beating Iowa State? Is that going to go on the resume of all the majors?
Yes, we should.
Oh, okay, well, if that's the way we're going to do it, that's fine. I mean, you know, you got to call a good team, and Southern Illinois is a good team. This is a very big win if they can hang on for this Indiana team.
Indiana State beat Butler. Are you counting that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's an upset. Butler's better than Indiana State.
It's a nice win for the Missouri Valley.
Butler conferences don't get wins. Teams do. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you talk to these coaches in the Valley. They are all cheering for each other in the non-conference schedule to help with what we saw, the buildup of their conference RPI and the hope that some of the respect collectively pays a dividend.
It's great for respect. Don't get me wrong. I think those are all great wins. All I'm saying is, you know, if Bradley loses a ball game, it doesn't make Southern Illinois any worse. And if
no one was saying that it did.
Well, but that's what you're making the reverse argument by saying if some of the teams in the league, you know, beat really good teams outside of it, then it makes the whole league better.
Or losing within their own league as opposed to winning or losing outside the league, and there is a difference. It helps the image of the league when these teams go outside the Missouri Valley and beat somebody good.
Absolutely.
They still have a hard time scheduling. That's part of the difficulty. Would you want to play this team? Think about it.
And Chris Lowry was very honest when you asked him that yesterday. He said, no, if I was in one of these BCS leagues, I probably wouldn't want to schedule us either.
Because you don't get credit for winning. That's the point, is when you beat a good team like Southern Illinois, you need to get credit for it. And the majors don't get credit for beating these really good mid-majors. They get beat up when they lose. But that isn't right.
They will now, though.
They should. They will with the Missouri Valley Conference team. But remember when Notre Dame lost to Butler? Everybody beat them up right after that. And it took Butler beating Indiana and then turning around and beating Tennessee and beating Gonzaga before people said, well, geez, Notre Dame played them pretty tough.
And then Purdue yesterday.
Exactly. I mean, that's a really good basketball team, and it needs to be called that. Not just called the mid-major team. That's a good basketball team.
Bassett guarded by Mullins. Would you do us a favor?
Sure.
As an early Christmas present, would you let Bill and I think that you think you lost this argument? Just to shake it up for a pleasant change.
It's all.
It's nice to work with Raymond Burr.
Well, here's some of what we're talking about. To me, the number that jumps off, the 5-1 record for Valley teams against teams that were ranked in the top 25 at the time of the meeting. And part of the reason this league is so good, not only the success last year, but 37 of the 50 starters from last season in the Missouri Valley are back.
Well, that's the important part, I think, is these are all veteran teams that know how to play. They're well coached, and one of the reasons these Missouri Valley teams are so good is they've got really good coaches. I mean, Barry Hinson's an outstanding coach at Missouri State. And Missouri State, I think, is going to be an NCAA tournament team, barring something really unforeseen. You know, Blake Ahern, one of the best shooters in the country. That's an outstanding basketball team.
Hey, by the way, when does your committee meet, the selection committee?
The committee of one.
Missouri State had an RPI of 21 at the end of last year, did not get into the tournament. Of course, we all know the RPI is just one tool. Traveling the call, 47 seconds to go. Crowd roars as Eric Seward gets into the game. He's been a starter in recent weeks, hasn't played tonight. But he's already had a nice month. He just got engaged to his longtime sweetheart, Rebecca Ellsworth, a young woman he's known since the 7th grade. They're going to get married in June.
I hope he went to K. Jewelers. He could shoot it, played well at Duke.
Here's Eric from Bloomington. His dad, a former assistant football coach here at IU under Bill Mallory. Now a radio talk show host, former color commentator on the IU football radio network. Salukis will not foul. And Indiana will have a hard-fought win tonight. And Kelvin Sampson can breathe a sigh of relief. We knew what a tough game this was. And I think he really appreciates the way Chris Lowry's team plays, a lot like Kelvin's teams over the years. A.J. Ratliff with 14 to lead Indiana. Jamal Tatum led all scorers with 17 for SIU. Final score, Indiana 57, Southern Illinois 47. The World Series of Poker is up next. Post-game coverage of this game. Check us out over on ESPN News. Now for Jay Billis, Bill Raftery, and our crew, Sean McDonough saying so long from Bloomington, Indiana. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.